Oh boy. Hello everybody. Welcome back. It is me, Emmerron, the guy who sometimes makes content on this channel. I've been very busy and slightly stressed out this week. It's been a week, but I have carpet on my stairs again, which does not sound like a big deal, but it's a monumental victory in my world right now, because I no longer need flip-flops to walk up and down my stairs that were previously carpeted and suddenly became bare wood covered in staples. So I have carpet on my stairs again. It's been a good week. It's been a busy week arranging that and some other things. Of course, joining me, as always, on this Cyberpunk Red podcast is my co-host.
Hi everybody, I'm Diamond Dust. I do a lot of Cyberpunk Red content. We were supposed to start Broken Circle last night.
We were.
We were supposed to, but
instead we have carpet on the stairs again, which is a massive victory.
Yeah. Between that and also just some other stuff going on, I just decided it may have just been best to push it back a week. But today is also my birthday. I am now 27 years old. I am another year older, another year wiser to the horrors of our reality. But anyway, welcome to Wireheads, a Cyberpunk Red podcast. And I got some fantastic news. Well, we got some fantastic news today. That's actually, really like different from like the normal way this stuff gets announced. So I'll pass it back to you.
Yeah. So this morning, aka while I was asleep, because I've been nocturnal on that Arknight's Enfield grind lately.
Yeah, my wife got you hooked on that crack.
Look, I joined it of my own free will. She had nothing to do other than playing it in the background, and I was like, "Ooh, pretty!" And then I joined, and it is pretty. It's great. Starset made a track that they played in the trailer for it, so that's been occupying a fair amount of my secondary time. So I was asleep this morning when they dropped this news for us. The book, the forthcoming Night City 2045, unlike most books where we at like maybe the best, I think, previous to this, we've gotten a rough release window, and even those are usually presented to us within like, I don't know, a month, maybe two tops.
Yep.
Instead, we have a release date that is 4 months out, and we have a promised date, which is for anything that Artal puts out, an incredibly
unusual.
It's an incredibly rare thing. So I don't know if it means anything. I don't know if it means anything outside of the fact that they clearly have a plan for this book. I don't know if that means we're going to be getting other release dates in the near future for other stuff, like Shadow Scar's core rulebook finally being printed, Fossilized Violence finally being
Shadow
printed.
Scar is off to print.
Yeah, James did confirm that last week, but we still don't have like a when is this going to be available date, which is the part that I'm like, okay. So the fact that we have one for NC 2045 now, 4 months out, is in light of that. We know Shadow Scar's off to print, and yet that doesn't have a date yet. So it's surprising in a good way that we have one for NC 2045, granted that.
I would like to note that Jay Gray had said that June 17th, or like, I'm not sure if this is Jay. I'm assuming because devlog, this is from Jay's point of view. June 17th is the physical release of Night City 2045. Now, I don't know how much you people want to read into this.
I mean, I know how I want to read into it.
I'm wondering if we might see digital come sooner.
I don't know about that. For a major release like that, typically we don't see that. Like, unless it's a print on demand. Like, it's a POD. PODs are different, though, because PODs require... There's, like, a little bit of a back and forth between drive-thru and RTAL, and there's a process to that. And typically with major releases like all the hardback books, so that'd be both Tales of the Red, that'd be Black Chrome, that's Danger Gal Dossier. Usually we get all of the stuff for that on the same day, regardless of if it's physical or it's digital. For me, the way I'm reading that, and again, this is very speculative, we have no inside information. We know as much as what you've all read, but from my from the way things have worked historically with releases, what I would assume is that they're saying that because so many releases lately have kind of had that caveat of we'll release the physical later for POD or whatever, and we have the digital coming now. If they are committing to a physical release on that day, then that means that we're going to be getting we are going to be getting it in all forms by that date at the latest. Now, that doesn't preclude them from doing what you're saying, but that would be a departure from form. But I guess us even having this release date at all is already technically that. It is clearly something that in the discussions that we've had with some other people that are associated with the project, I know a lot of people have been really, 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 really excited to finally get this book into people's hands, whether they be writers on it, whether they be artists who have worked on it, whether they are, Jay himself, James, Rob, like the people who are lined up for this. I know all of them. The
cast is so good.
The cast is good. We've known a good chunk of this cast for a minute, but all of them that we have regular communication with, because several of them are admins in the Artel Soaring Discord. Mm-hmm. And then a few of them obviously are, close friends of ours now that, work for Artel, like James or Rob. And so with that said, I know all of them have been very excited to see this released. So this could be a symptom of that excitement. But yeah, that's kind of as far as I'll speculate on it. Bottom line is we have a release date, and it's coming on June. I need to pull 17th. June 17th. All right, beautiful. Yeah, I'm lost.
By the way,
there.
If you want 10% off this book when you buy it, use code Wireheads at the Artel store.
Yeah. Never miss the opportunity to pump the promo code. But yeah,
it's a discount for probably because they gave the stats, like the stats about the book in here. I thought, okay, it's gonna be a sizable book. Oh, this is a sizable book. Like, I think we get a very rough page count of like the major content in here.
Yeah, because just kind of scrolling through it, because did we get a...
I don't think we have a grand total.
All right, then we're gonna do it live, everyone. Hold up.
Yeah, but each section, I'll have my calculator pulled up so that way I can also track it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, each section is talked about in here. But I suppose on the general opening notes, something I'm excited for, because I know we don't often get a lot of words from Mike since the core rule book. Mike is going to be doing the introduction for this book.
Yeah,
which I'm happy to. I am happy to see that, because I know Mike is a very, very busy man, and this is going to be exciting. Also, we even got some notes of some of the artists that are going to be in here as well. So I am stoked for it.
Yeah, no, this is very exciting. Getting to see so much of this so early, like relative to release, obviously, this is something where we, have the earliest kind of ideas about like what is this even gonna be. And I'm sorry, I'm doing math at the same time that I am talking here, so if my thoughts are slightly disjointed, that is why.
Are you just totaling them all right now?
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm doing it live.
Okay, I thought we were gonna count as we went.
No, I'm just doing it real quick. I'm just doing a quick scroll and enter. But this is already looking way longer than like any book we've gotten as a supplement. Like, this is actually crazy how long this is. What the?
But also in here, we get 2 pieces of district artwork already. We have one for North Haywood, which it's a rainy image that has a lot of the vehicles that are in some of the various, whether it be Black Chrome or the DLC that are in here, along with like other examples of what ground vehicles would look like, because I think we have the armadillo in the background here of the North Haywood picture that's introduced. I have no idea who this gang is. Wonder if it's just typical booster gang, but they have like some kind of icon on their back, but we don't really have a lot to go on outside that, besides they're wearing gas masks.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, like, it kind of looks like the Legionnaire head that the Red Chrome Legion does, but not really. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but like the Red Chrome Legion artwork, every time we've seen them, they wear black.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that doesn't look like an RCL group. So I just totaled the page counts that we have, and mind you, there are at the kicking it off section at the top of this discussion, there are let me just see real quick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, maybe these are subsections, so I can't really say for sure. There are a few lines at the top of the article that say, they don't have a page count next to them like the other stuff does, but they might be subheadings for what that section is due to contain, and that might be why I'm mixing this up. But just with the pages that they have represented as being a current, either, I don't know if this is estimate or if indeed this means layout is done. Because usually we don't have a final page count until layout is finished, just because of the nature of how layout works. We have 311 pages represented, which, to give some context to how insane that number is, that is only, I think, 100 less than the core rulebook, and it's easily 100 plus pages more than a supplement like Black Chrome or Danger Gal Dossier is.
Yeah, because this is the rulebook.
This is the longest supplement we have ever gotten, by far.
There are 456 pages in the core rulebook if we include the index as well. So this would be 2/3 of what's in the core rulebook, because I included things like the ad pages and stuff like that. So like the substantive page count is going to be slightly less than this, but like not nearly enough to matter. Like we've got over 300 pages of fresh content coming.
in this book, which is fucking insane. Like, I'm not even gonna mince words. That is fucking insane. There's no two ways to say that.
So you said like what, 311?
311 is the page count based on what they presented in the article.
So I'm looking at the table of contents for the core rulebook. That puts us all the way from like the first section of like the introductions and all that, all the way up to the end of everyday life. So just before the night market stuff and the GM section.
Right, and the night market stuff...
That is massive.
The night market stuff is also a lot of reprinted information until you hit the GM section. So, like, that's... wow. Yeah. This thing's going to be massive. This basically... I think if you look at it by the substantive pages, this is probably neck and neck for the core rulebook. If you take some of the stuff that's like... If you take what's been duplicated out and reduce the page counts by the same amount, then like this is pretty nutty.
Because I'm looking at it, if we chop off the night market index where a bunch of that reprint happens, that would make the core rule book only 4 pages bigger than Night City 2045.
Oh, Oscar just pointed out something in chat. This is when, I'm so excited.
Oh, Origins. Okay.
Origins, because Artal is going to be at Origins this year. So that's, that is very exciting. That is very exciting. Okay, yeah. No, this is going to be fun. All right. So they've aligned it with, no wonder we got a date so early then. I didn't put that 2 and 2 together, but we know that it's coming in time for that then. Okay. All right. Thank you, Oscar, for that little bit of insight. Because, there have been so many convention dates in my world lately that I totally lost track of when Origins was compared to the rest of it all.
They said if you pre-order, you can pick it up there. Ooh, okay.
That's fucking awesome. Okay. Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. I am hoping to have a presence myself at Origins this year. I don't know if I'm going to be there with Artal explicitly. I think I'm probably going to be there with another company. But I probably will be taking them up on that offer if I can get over to their booth during the middle of everything.
Cybernetics are listed twice in the core rulebook.
Yeah, cybernetics. So all the cyber wars listed twice. All the weapons, gear, some of the other elements of that. What was there was another one that I was just thinking of. Well, technically, your program tables and stuff are all listed twice. So that there's a lot of stuff listed in duplicate, and I do get why they did it the way that they did, because then at least it's all collated into a single section at the back of the book. Like when I'm looking for gear stuff, I go to the night market index at the back of the core rulebook. I don't bother looking through all the other stuff. The one fail with the way they did that is that the radiation suit didn't make the back of the book. It only made the table at the front. So, but other than that, the weapons chart is in there 3 times. What?
Yes. Well, like weapon items, there's when you're doing character generation, Friday night firefight, which Friday night firefight's a little more slimmed down for like the range tables and all that. And then there is that in the back of the index. But before we get on our soapbox about the terrible layout of the core rulebook,
I don't know if I call it terrible, just inefficient.
Inefficient, fair. So let's see. Starting off with kicking it off, like I had mentioned, we had the introduction. Of course, as always, there is like using this book, which that is just that's like pretty standard for like every like hardcover book that shows up in the Cyberpunk Red Line, which this one uses 3 pages, so that's like, because usually it's like 1 to 2 pages normally. So
yeah, I mean, I could see 3 pages.
I think Black Chrome hit 3 pages.
Yeah, well, because if you think about it, this book, for the volume of info in this book, that they probably do need a little more time to explain, like, all right, so like this book is this. These are all the ways you can use it. That is the section of the book where typically we'll get context. So like using the book in context, if you use it outside their stated context, then like your mileage may vary, sort of warning up front, to put it one way. But yeah.
And then Mike and Jay Gray, Jay Gray and Mike Podsmith, they share facts about Night City, which I wonder if like everything underneath Night City facts,
that's what I mean.
It's kind of in there as well.
This is one thing where I wish they would have maybe formatted the announcement just a little more clearly where this stuff is concerned, because this is like where I got a little tricked. I'm like, wait a minute, do we just not have a page count for that stuff? No, we do. It's just part of the upper section, I think. Because yeah, they break down for the Night City facts section of this. We've got timeline, location, including legal status in the city, weather, citizenship, and sins, which we know are I think social identification numbers.
Yep.
We've got getting into Night City by car, air, rail, and sea. Getting around Night City, so that'll include vehicle ownership, traffic, parking, public transit, taxi services. And then we've got government and the city council, the law, NCPD, deputized security forces, process of justice, and common punishments. Public services, 911, banking, medical care, education, utilities, which include electricity, water, and sewer, garbage collection, CityNet, and shopping. Night City Media, which includes television, radio, micro stations, pirate stations, scream sheets, and the data pool. And that is just the 19 pages of Night City facts that contains all of that information.
And some of this stuff I'm surprised we haven't had beforehand.
Such as
but
what?
You mean it? Law, like some of the laws in Night City.
I mean, we get a small sampling of that in the core rulebook, to be fair.
Yeah.
But
you mean to tell me I have to deal with traffic? I have to deal with traffic in my role-playing game as well as outside my role-playing game?
Look, my players just learned a couple weeks ago in Neon Inferno what traffic's like in Night City.
I mean, we get a glimpse of like getting across Night City in Hope Reborn as well.
Well, and in Street Stories, Street Stories kind of covers that a little bit too.
Wait, which event is that?
One Red Night
flavored kibble. Oh, okay. I forgot that there was that in One Red Night.
Yeah, because maybe I'm overthinking it, but I know that they cover. There's like a section in there where you can ride with a group to the plaza, and I'm trying to keep this as vague as possible for anyone who haven't played this mission, because Diamond will remember this. I know she will. But yeah, that I believe that had some stuff in it.
Yeah.
I thought I remembered them saying like, if you're feeling particularly spicy, you can throw an NCPD chase in there. But like, maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe I'm thinking about the stuff that Evan said he wanted to do to it.
That's also in one of the adventures in Hope Reborn. That's also suggested.
Yeah.
If people knock bicycles while my character is surfing through traffic like a New York City courier. Oh my gosh. But also like 911, which I mean, I guess it fits for it being like North America or like the United States, but didn't know if they would change it up for different setting. But all right, like the fact that we're getting a lot of this, which we have a little bit of information on, like radio through Rob Barefoot's Nomad Presents Radio.
Yeah.
And I think we've also got some stuff on from television as well.
We
absolutely in single player mode.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think, like, and I've said this before as we've gone through other products and DLCs and whatever. Single player mode absolutely has stuff in it that feels like a very light tip of the hat, a nod, a wink at what we might be getting. Because we do get a little, if you read between the lines enough on the Atlas, some of those things were not new. Like, one in particular was the fact that we know there's a show in Night City called Combat Zone where you do battle royale stuff, essentially. So, like, and I think Jay's even said it on the podcast when we've interviewed him before, that, like,
yep.
if you were to do a battle royale in Cyberpunk Red and you wanted it to feel like, you know, it belonged in the setting, we have a TV show for that. This is how it roughly works. So there is a very real element of that you know, I know they kind of did that as like a nod to Monster Fight Club's little skirmish game by the same name, but yep. It is rather interesting that there is a facet of that which we could engage with using the tabletop rules instead of the Combat Zone skirmish rules. Just as a thought, it'll be interesting.
If you wanted to do Cyberpunk Running Man, awesome.
Pretty much, yeah, dead ass. I mean, look, my parties all feel like they've been through it anyway by the end of the game, but if you wanted to, be really, really tongue-in-cheek with it and be very on the nose about everything, you could do that. So anyway, once we get past that 19 dense pages of Night City facts, we have flash maps, which are 4 pages. Now,
Saga's doing those.
So map by Saga. So, flash maps, just so everyone is clear on this, were something we also saw in the older Night City sourcebook for 2020 that basically gave you a schematic kind of level understanding of, here is what the major sections of the city that are maybe of particular interest contain, and kind of organized the the block for you ahead of time. And those very much came with the understanding, and I have no doubt that a similar sentiment to what I'm about to say is going to be in the using this book section we talked about a little bit ago. They very much made it clear in the old Night City sourcebook that this is just a very small sampling meant to give you an idea of what is there and to give you schematics for some of the really major POIs that exist within the city, like NC Medical Center. It is not intended by any means to be an exhaustive list of locations and like detailed drawings. It is only ever intended to, as far as I'm aware, at least the way they did in 2020, it was this way. It was never intended to be exhaustive. It was only meant to inform very specific blocks or districts of the city. Kind of like what we got for Woodland Park in Hope Reborn. I imagine these flash maps are going to be kind of similar in scale to something like that, and that anyone is free to interpret the world of Night City beyond those POIs and even exclude them. Obviously, you're a GM, you run your table. If you want to burn the whole city down, raise it and say, no, Night City was never built in Morro Bay, that is entirely your prerogative. You can do that. We could be playing in Blade Runner's LA instead with the cyberpunk rules. It would feel no less appropriate. You just then have to do all the other hard work that comes with that. But yeah, bottom line is the flash maps are probably going to be, just low level, detailed location maps for some of the really important areas of the city. And I'll be very interested to see kind of what those look like when we get to that point. So, as part of that, and I believe actually we got a sneak peek of what this looks like, because Jay was being a leaky little source of information to the Discord a few weeks ago. Maybe this was only last week.
It was last week.
Time is a construct, and I'm just slipping through it. So
you're good.
We got a preview of the Encart and Rail Lines map that is going to be in the book from the looks of things. But so in the flash maps, we have Encart and Rail Lines, bars, brothels, casinos, clubs, housing, medical, and markets, all in 4 brief pages. The Encart maps are going to be, I believe, one of those. So yeah, the Encart rail map is gonna be 1 page by the looks of it from the leak that Jay showed us.
It's not just Encart, but also inbound, outbound trains that probably go, like, the way I was looking at it, up into NorCal and SoCal.
Yeah, no. Like the rail lines that we saw on that map go beyond the city. They are like broad level maps for the surrounding region as well. So basically, if you were to take the NC Atlas that we already have and then hyperimpose rail lines both inside the city as well as transiting into and out of the city, you've got that essentially on that map. I will try, if I remember, I'll try to put an image up in my Discord's announcements section under our episode this week once we're done, so that everyone can kind of see what I was talking about, because I know the link from Jay, like, you could probably go to the Discord. It's in the 2040s discussion channel for Cyberpunk. If you search up Jay in there, you'll find the post probably without too much hassle. But it's going to be buried now. And I don't know how active Jay's been in that channel since, because I've been kind of absent from the server this week. So, it's impressive. So, depending on what the other pages for these other things will contain, very interested. I'm very, very, very interested. So moving on from there, we got another chunky section. Diamond, if you would care to do the honors real quick.
All right, so coming up after that, for 21 pages, we're looking at more factions. Like, we were introduced to factions in Danger Gal Dossier, but for these 21 pages, contributed by all authors across the board. We have talks about the various gangs of Night City, like what their logos are. So I'm wondering if we're gonna get more gang logo, like another gang, like logo pack soon, because I really like having the logo packs. Yeah. What activities or themes they're involved in. So, yeah, sort of like, for example, Maelstrom. Yeah, we have Maelstrom. They deal in cyberware. They're a very violent group. I wouldn't be surprised if they're involved in the drug trade as well. Talk about how they get their money, where they hang out at, what's their, like, where are you gonna find these guys, what their gang color. We'll actually get a better definition for gang colors in here. So that's actually quite nice. We have that. And there are 44 gangs that are going to be discussed in here. And then we have the criminal organizations, which we were just introduced to them in the Night City Atlas, which includes groups like the Wang Tang Fong, led by David Lingpo, the Kanzaki family, the Eastern Tigers Triad, the Skiv family, and there was a Russian mob. I think it's the Consortium.
So I know the Skiv family is mob.
The Mafia.
Yeah. But this consortium might also be. I wouldn't be shocked if they're affiliated.
Let me see.
I know one of the criminal. I know one of the criminal organizations we've heard a little bit about in the lead up to things here was the at least I thought, because was the consortium maybe
they were mentioned in the last DLC, Everyday People.
I was just trying to think of not Everyday People, but for some reason I thought that there was a group Mr. K was part of. That
Mr. K is with the Chamber of Commerce. That's mentioned in the downtown section.
That's what that was. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Which, I mean, they aren't mentioned as a gang, but I would not be surprised if they're also put in somewhere amongst all this as well.
Right.
And then we also have the various security organizations, which, I mean, we have 6 crime families from what it looks. Crime families, crime organizations. Definitely more organized bunch. The security organizations, we have 23 of them,
which
includes their leader, headquarters, details of data. Because I'm trying to think, because we've got all the districts.
Well, because think about this, right? Criminal organizations would be groups like the mob, but some of the ones that have a criminal element potentially part of them, like 6th Street, where they technically are a gang, they could also be listed as a security organization, because primarily that is what their stated goals are, is to provide security for the city, or for at least their neighborhoods that are under their protection. So I'm wondering how they're classifying or breaking those down. The one interesting thing about the security organizations are that we get an idea of what their headquarters are like. So I'm thinking back to when we first saw the rules given to us as part of No Place Like Home, and we got insights on the fact that, like, hey, GMs, you know what's a real cool idea if you want to really make it hard on your players and make some enemies that are really hard for them to deal with? Give them a headquarters all their own. And so I'm imagining that what we are about to get are headquarters stat blocks that is part of this. Just a bit of speculation on my part, but it would go kind of crazy if we got like a little block essentially saying, like, yeah, their headquarters is located here and it contains the following HQ upgrades, and just like got a full accounting of what that HQ looked like from that perspective. So the GMs picking that up could go, very cool, awesome, I know what I'm about to do. Like, so yeah, I think that that's very, very cool that they specifically call out headquarters being part of that.
And then, yeah, and there's 23 of them, which I wonder if that's also because we have seen it mentioned before in the core rule book of like the sheriff's office. Also some of the wonder if we're gonna be seeing like higher level offices as well that show up in Night City, because Interpol was mentioned in NCPD Precinct 1 as well. Yeah, it's the whole law and order aspect of that, because we already know we're getting that as part of another section as well, so like there's a
very large part of me, because that's like the one thing, obviously, it's mentioned in the core rulebook. Whoops, sorry, just bumped my mic. It's mentioned in the core rulebook that we have these areas of the city that have different threat levels, and part of that is kind of telling you how rapidly or readily emergency services will get to you if there's a problem. And the most critical for edge runners of those is probably the police, right? So the one thing that I know I don't do well in my game, just because it's like just a layer too far for me to track without hard rules and to like be ad hocing it constantly, is how safe is the area of the city that you're in, and how soon will the NCPD arrive? I think if we get better rules for how to adjudicate that at our table as part of kind of the amalgam of all that, I will be extremely happy. Because then I'll just be able to learn a rule set and then like just run it from memory rather than having to like think through a solution every time it comes up at the table that matches the severity of things. Getting codified stuff would be very, very good there.
We haven't even hit the meat of the book section yet.
No, but once we're through that, we're pretty much at the end. There's nothing afterwards. So, and then this, and ironically, this is where they this is more of a list than it is a breakdown like the previous sections have been. So the meat of the book are the districts. So each district, as they say, this is a quote from the article, each district begins with an introduction and information about the city manager, population, security provider, and recent history, then moves on to specific locations, each with a security code. Districts end with short biographies of interesting personalities important to the district and stat blocks of archetypal character types you might encounter there. Note, mapped location below means the location is pinned to the district map. Many locations have sublocations noted in their listings. So first we have the island map / index, which is 1 page. Then we have Little Europe, which is going to be 12 pages and has been written by Eddie Webb. This contains 23 mapped locations, 1 district image, 1 district map, 11 personalities, and 4 archetype stat blocks. We then get the Upper Marina by both Frances Stewart and Linda Evans, who some of you, the second of which there, Linda, you might know as Dreader Cup. She also hangs out in the Airtel Discord and is an admin like the two of us are. The two of them for the Upper Marina have 40 mapped locations, 1 district image, 1 district map, 9 personalities, and 4 archetype stat blocks. Next, we get the Hot Zone, which is a total of 6 pages written by Frances Stewart. This has 11 map locations, 1 district image, 1 district map, 7 personalities, and 2 archetype stat blocks. We then get the University District by Crystal Mazer. There are 32 map locations there, 1 district image, 1 district map, 9 personalities, 4 archetype stat blocks. We've got the Glen, which is 14 pages long, written by Chris Spivey, who's awesome. 34 map locations, 1 district image, 1 district map, 11 personalities, and 5 archetype stat blocks. We've got Old Japan
We got
Town.
the combat zones in here as well.
Oh, yeah. So we got Old Japan Town, which is 10 pages long, being written by Tsuneo Tateno, or Kosetsu Tateno. So I don't know if this is an alias or 2 different people, but we've got Tsuneo Tateno and we've got Kosetsu Tateno. And those are joined by Enjali. And these, so Old Japantown has 26 map locations, 1 district image, 1 district map, 10 personalities, and 5 archetype stat blocks. Then we got South Night City, also written by Chris Spivey. This is another 12 pages, 21 map locations, 1 district image, 1 district map, 13 personalities, and 8 archetype stat blocks. We've got Port of Night City, which is 8 pages. This is the first of our new districts, by the way, that we didn't get before the Atlas. So the Port of Night City is being written by Michael McDonald. It is 8 pages long, 15 map locations, district image, a district map, 7 personalities, 4 archetype stat blocks. We've got the Reclamation Zone, which is the next new district that we haven't had before. I guess downtown we didn't have either. Yep. Oh, did I skip over downtown? I'm so stupid.
You skipped over downtown, Hot Zone, Little China.
No, I didn't skip over Hot Zone. I mentioned Hot Zone. But yeah, Little China and downtown. I'm so sorry, guys. So let me talk about those first. Downtown, there's 10 pages written by Allison Seib. That's 23 map locations, a district image and map, 9 personalities and 4 archetype stat blocks. Little China is being written by Melissa Wong. It is 8 pages long, 15 map locations, a district image and map, 6 personalities and 2 archetype stat blocks. And then, yeah. So then we come back down here. So
did you get Little China?
I did. I just mentioned it.
You did. Okay. All right.
Then, yeah. So then, in case I didn't mention it because I can't remember. No, you're good. So I might have skipped over the Glen. Why are my eyes doing that? Like, I'm just skipping over things. So the Glen is also written by Chris Spivey. 14 pages, 34 map locations, a district image and map, 11 personalities, 5 archetype stat blocks. Just mentioned Old Japantown. Just mentioned South Night City. Just mentioned Port Night City. So Reclamation Zone, 8 pages long, being written by N. Jolly. These are 15 map locations, a district image and map, 6 personalities, and 6 archetypal stat blocks. We got the Old Combat Zone, which is written by Michael McDonald, which has 22 map locations, a district image and map, 6 personalities, and 8 archetype stat blocks. Then we get to North Side, finally.
Mind if I pick this one up?
Please, go right ahead.
So, yeah, so we got all that for the island, which, of course, that's where all the business is happening. North Side, which some people, if you are Yellow Cyberpunk people, it's just Watson. It's just Watson. Anyway, North Side, we've got NorCal Military Base, which has 17 map, which is by Jay Gray. It has 17 map locations, 1 district image, 1 district map, 4 personalities, and 1 archetype stat block. Wow. It kind of checks out for a military base. Not a lot of variety there. Watson Development by Graham Barber. Graham Barber? Graham or Graham?
Graham.
Graham Barber. Okay, I got it right the first time around. Watson Development comes in with 47 mapped locations, a district image and map, 11 personalities, and 9 archetype stat blocks. And then right next to it, we have Kabuki by Sunio Tateno or Kotsetsu Tateno, with 24 mapped locations, 1 district image, 1 district map, 12 personalities, 4 archetypal stat blocks. And then we get hit with an in-world ad, and then off to the mainland, which I'll pass off to you.
Yeah, so mainland. So this is thankfully after the island, everything's briefer. So the mainland map /index is a page. Then we've got New Westbrook being written 12 pages by Steve Kenson. This involves 26 map locations, an image and a district image and map, 9 personalities, 5 archetype stat blocks. Charter Hell by Linda Evans. So that's another one. Dreader Cup did that. This is 8 pages long with 18 map locations, a district image and map, 9 personalities, 4 archetype stat blocks. We've got the Executive Zone, which is 8 pages long, written by Ann Morrison. This is 23 map locations, a district image and map, 7 personalities, 6 archetype stat blocks.
This is the first time we're going to get a look inside the Executive Zone in any written media outside the core rulebook.
Yeah, which is Very interesting, honestly. Because it's kind of surprising, to be honestly, that we didn't get a look at this within Street Stories, because they had an opportunity to do that for us, and they just chose not to, which is kind of interesting to me. So anyway, next we have the Haywood Docs, which is 6 pages long, written by Crystal Mazer. This is 10 map locations, 1 district image, 1 district map, 6 personalities, 2 archetype stat blocks. We've got North Haywood, which is 10 pages long, written by Trace Wilson, which is 24 map locations, 1 district image and map, 9 personalities, 6 archetype stat blocks. We have the Haywood Industrial Zone, which is 8 pages long, written by Rachel Savicki, which is 19 map locations, 1 image, 1 map, 6 personalities, and an archetype stat block. We've got Santo Domingo, which is 10 pages long, written by Fernando Damas. And then this is 27 map locations, 1 district image and map, a staggering 14 personalities, which is a ton.
Checks out.
And then 4 archetype stat blocks.
That's where static meets nomad.
Yeah, little bit. So all of that then leads us finally to the south side of the city.
Which I look forward to seeing what we have in, because we start off with Pacific. Is it now Pacific Playground, or is it Pacific?
I'm pretty sure it's a typo. It's Pacifica. Okay. We know it's Pacifica.
So we got Pacifica Playground by Rob Barefoot. 22 map locations, a district image and map, 10 personalities, and which I'm surprised there isn't more for that. It's a little small. So
I could kind of see it if they're trying to cut through redundancies on things like
that's fair.
Stuff that they've printed in other media already, like Danger Gal. They might be intentionally only giving new stuff, which would make sense, honestly.
4 archetype stat blocks. Then we have Rancho Coronado, much love, with Melissa Wong, which has 12 map locations. I'm just kind of surprised because Rancho Coronado is a bit of a sizable district. But then again, I think from what we've heard, it's a little run down. So it's got 1 district image, 1 district map, 7 personalities, and 6 archetype stat blocks.
Oscar, just to really quickly make sure that this is clear, Rob did not write the. Rob did not write the amusement park itself. Rob was responsible for that district as a whole, because fun fact about Rob. He used to work in Orlando near a ton of theme parks. So
good experience there.
He worked, I believe it was Universal Orlando was the one he was near. And so he knows exactly what it's like living in that type of a district within a city. So he was leveraged for his experience. No. Someone else wrote the amusement park itself.
We're about to get there, but something that surprised me in the initial teaser image, the outskirts. We're going to get 22 map locations in the outskirts, which we never talk about the outskirts ever, it seems. We've got 1 location image, so probably an example of what it looks like out there, an area map. And personalities and 5 archetype stat blocks, which as someone that comes from a rural background, I'm very interested to see what's going on outside.
I'm curious if that's going to be where we get a little insight to nomads, because that would kind of make sense if we did.
Rocky Ridge showed up after the Metal Wars, didn't it?
Rocky Ridge.
Little ghost town just outside the city.
Well, that was a reclaimed town, so Laguna Bend and Rocky Ridge both, I think, would probably
Laguna Bend could be here.
Yeah, because we do see the Laguna Reservoir, which is the body of water that the town used to sit at the edge of by the time of the 2070s. but we know it existed in the 2040s and 50s because very mild spoilers for one specific quest line in 2077. We see a brain dance of this place in the time of the Red through the eyes of a certain serial killer.
Right.
And that was in Laguna Bend. So that's probably going to be one of the places we get to see.
I think also in those brain dances, we found there's a public school that's actually mentioned. Things like Santo Domingo or Rancho.
Well, it's going to be in that. I think it's in Laguna Bend. I believe the school itself was Laguna Bend.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, I could have sworn all of that was down there. Well, down there by the time of the 70s, where it's literally under like a fucking lot of water. It's incredibly deep. Yeah.
And then finally, Playland by the Sea, which has 11 pages, mind you, compared to everything else that had, like, Pacifica Playground has 10 pages, Rancho Coronado has 8 pages, the Outskirts has 8 pages. All of these are pretty sizable districts. Playland by the Sea is by James Hutt, and James has packed 55 mapped locations, informations on costs, the security, rules, management, staff, and special events calendar, and a map of the park. All in here.
All in 11 pages, which is kind of insane. And this is the part where if I had seen this before we had him on last week, I would have asked him very directly to his face. And still might DM him this later. James, are you okay? Like, that's a lot in 11 pages. Compared to what everyone else is bringing, that's like more than double the number of mapped locations as any other district in the book. That's insane. And this is for one small subset of one district. Playland by the Sea is not very big. Like, this is crazy.
Like, it's just like, damn. 55 locations.
Because James Hutt, as he was, we chatted. So to give everyone a brief understanding of why I'm like, oh no, James is a good friend of ours. After he was on the show last week for 2.5 hours with us, he then proceeded to chat with us after the show, just one-on-one, about a lot of different stuff. We talked Legos, we talked dinosaurs, we talked stuff I can't talk about here, and he very much lived at a theme park in a lot of ways. When he was growing up, he had some very, very important opinions about theme parks. This is where when this book finally comes out, provided I'm not fucking running with my hair on fire, and still
finally get the achievement.
Yeah, finally we can get the achievement to ride the coaster.
Happiest place in the world.
There's a lot that I'd like to talk to James about with this district in particular. Because while I haven't seen anything about this from the book, just some of the stuff that has come up as idle chatter with James when we ask him stuff at Gen Con and stuff like that about like, so, you know, when we talk about the piranhas, because like sometimes we'll just ask him about something in the city and he'll give us his take on it. And he had some wild things to say about the piranhas and their involvement with this place. So I'm very interested to be able to discuss some of these things more openly, because right now there's a limit to what I'm comfortable talking about because I do not want to steal any of their thunder. But also some of the stuff James was telling us last week after the podcast was, I'm so excited for this district. And I know all the other authors probably put a similar level of attention to detail. I have no doubt that all of these are going to be incredible. James just happens to be someone that we both know close enough to know some of what's coming in that. And I am very excited to read it in detail. James Hutt is the new Mike Pondsmith and who you want to talk cyberpunk with? Kind of. Even James, see, this is the thing. James knows that he has an NDA. And so he is very careful about what he discusses.
Yeah.
And if he tells something to us in confidence, it is only because
we don't talk about it.
We don't talk about shit until it is time for us to talk about it. Rest assured, when this comes out, we will have him on the podcast yet again, because I want to talk to him about this. And probably, if we can swing it, I'd like to get both him and Rob to talk about that district in general. Because
I would love to get the authors in for this, actually, just all of them.
Well, we've talked about that, yeah, like how to arrange interviews with some of these people. And obviously, like I said, there's quite a few of these people that hang out in the Artel Discord and even chat. Some of you may have even chatted with some of the authors in the channels that aren't even admins. Because, like, people like Njali and Linda Evans are in the admin team. But people like Melissa Wong hang out in the Discord pretty regularly. Melissa has a couple of geckos that she absolutely loves, or at least one gecko. Forget if she's got more than the one gecko, but I know she's got one gecko in particular that she is very fond of and likes posting pictures about. So if you like cute lizard photos,
no, it's not too early to theorize about NZ 2045 plus.
I'm going to be. They have 300 plus pages of content.
There's going to be extras.
There's going to be extras, but God, like.
And also, just as an important last note, there's an image in here for Santo Domingo. Where we see Aldo Peacekeeper. But also, I can only assume there's this large structure in the back, which looks like it's a mega building of some sort. Like a small mega building structure that has Aldecaldos written down the side of it. We've got Nomad Santiago painted over there on the right side. But in the far back, we have a fruit shop. I was looking at like the words here, trying to remember what some of these words were in Spanish. We've got a fruit shop in the back. We have Mayflower written in Spanish over here on the store nearby. Mega Building A1. I have no idea.
Yeah, because this is.
And then we also have a barber.
So it is Fruteria La Doña. So that's interesting. Oh, and it looks like a grow op right next door to it too. So like, yeah, guerrilla gardening is well and alive here. So I'm wondering,
are we gonna get the guerrilla gardeners?
That would be awesome if we did.
Is this where it's gonna get included? It's like guerrilla gardening.
Please let that be a system. I want so badly for that.
Get biopunk, please.
Buy a little biopunk, just a little bit as a treat, please.
Just a little biopunk. But that being said, we are gonna be bouncing soon. Oh wait, how many minutes do we have on this half of the episode? What time is it?
We're spent. We've hit the end.
I feel like this half. I feel like the next half makes a little more sense now that we've talked about this.
Little bit, yeah. So to kind of summarize thoughts on the giant news drop we got today, NC 2045. It is, in fact, arriving on June 17th. We have learned, thanks to Oscar, we put the logic together. you know, and you know, been told that this will be at Origins. So if you're going to Origins, you can get a copy there. You can pre-order and pick up a copy there. So for any of you who are interested in that, the pre-orders, as I understand it, will be put through the Talsorian store website, because they are being handled directly by Artal themselves, which is where you can use our promo code, which is Wireheads at checkout. There's also a link below in the description for you to go to the site directly with that code automatically applied. So when pre-orders are finally announced, you can get 10% off an unreleased product by simply using that code. And then we get a little support, a little kickback, if you will, and everyone wins. Bottom line, though, this is very exciting. I'm very, very interested to see how much more information we learn about this book before it finally releases, because it already feels like we've learned so much about what's going to be in here between this and some of the earlier DLC releases that we've already got. It's insane.
If it's going to be anything like past devlogs, there's going to be a little bit of a pattern to when they get released. Sometimes I think it's like either weekly or bi-weekly, depending on how far out they are from release. I would not be surprised if this is going to be bi-weekly.
Yeah, we'll see. And we'll see. It just really will depend. But I've been excited for this book since they mentioned it. I think that there's a lot of stuff that this book is going to put on the table finally that will really fill out my mental image of the city, as well as honestly contextualizing the idea of, like, if you have a law enforcement organization within a district or just in the game in general, right? It doesn't even need to be within Night City. This is the way Night City runs theirs, so like you could take ideas and then do your own from there in a different city. But just having those concepts, I think, from the designers and creators of the game is going to be an incredibly useful thing to have. But that is going to be my half of today's episode. So in a moment here, for those of you who are here with us live, you're going to watch our usual mess of transitioning this. But for those of you watching this recorded, if you're on Spotify, you're just going to skip right to the next section. If you are on YouTube, you are going to go to the link below. That will link you over to Diamond's half of the episode. And there we are going to talk about Ordinary People, which is the DLC that we got technically for January. They released it, I think, just a day outside the month. But that, I mean, given what's in there, worth that. But we're going to discuss that in Diamond's half of the episode. So as always, thank you guys for joining us for this first half. For those of you on YouTube, hopefully you'll continue through, but I hope all of you have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Stay healthy, stay safe, and until we see each other again, peace.
Bye-bye.